No mai hoki mai e te whānau ki te Kēmu Tuarua. Welcome back for the second game in the 2022 Bunnings Homegrown Series, all the way here from grassroots Te Awamutu. My name's Shane Edwards. Joining me in the commentary team still is Peter Walters and Harley Wall. Peter, take us through the teams very quickly.
Well, yes, we'll start off here with the list is just coming up now, Shane. We've got Te Awamutu and mixed there, coached by Hikapeni. Number one, Ben Anderson. And they've I can see on Te Tonga on the screen, so we'll go with that. Te Tonga, coached by Damien Burden. Some good performers in here. Autumn Ray Stevens, Shiloh Flavel, Jordan Tuakana Hudson, Angus Fawkes, George Durban Burgess, Sasu Wihapi from the Bay, Mark Hobson, that experienced captain. So very good side there. And Mark's also the captain, and he's been to 3 World Cups, so he's a bit of a legend in the sport, Mark. So once again, coached by Damien Byrne. So the coaches are very good in this environment here. Heading over now to Te Awamutu. Ben Anderson, he's a great performer from Nelson there. We've got Atawhai Hortene, who is the captain. Tamahawken, we've got the Nicol brothers, Daniel and Lewis Nicol from Auckland. We've got Hanlon Johnson, a smart performer from Otago. Taura Ohi, we've got Tatiana Fisher from Harbour. Mia McLaughlin from Auckland, she's a good performer. So, mate, this is going to be a real awesome battle here today.
Thank you, Pete. Harley, who's our officials for this game?
Looking forward to today's game. We have our 3 awesome referees we'll introduce very shortly.
Great, let's go to an ad break. Come back to you, Harley, with our officials.
Get out there, get your deck sorted. Weathering will take its toll, so you have to protect it. The feeling of accomplishment you get, second to none. So yeah, long weekends are awesome for doing that kind of stuff.
Decking oil just $88. 2030 PSI water blaster only $119. Decking applicator with handle just $21.50.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 15%. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
My name is Joseph Sawali. To stay fast on my feet, I need a lightweight and responsive boot. Step up your game with the ASICS Menace. It's lightweight and responsive, which allows for rapid acceleration and a faster transfer through directional changes. The innovative HD 10mm technology raises the heel and reduces strain on the legs. Raise your game, play uplifted.
Run through our officials for this game, please. Harley Wall.
Looking forward to seeing our officials out there on the field today in the middle before we are about to start off our match today. We've got Mitchell Bailey from Canterbury. On the far side, Quinn Murphy from Counties Manukau. And close side to us, we have Tanisha Gill from Hawke's Bay.
And Te Awamutu will go from left to right as we look at the screen. Beautiful day here in Te Awamutu. Pete, the mixed game, very successful division for New Zealand in the past.
Yes, we've won a couple of World Cups in the open mixed, and we always perform well there. So looking forward to this case. Looking forward to the new performers coming through. There's a lot of these guys that have not played for New Zealand in the open mixed, the majority in fact. So you expect that a lot of these kids here are going to pathway through to our New Zealand team, Shana.
Looking forward to seeing the 2 Nicol brothers, Lewis and Daniel. Seen them since they were kids. Very clever players. They'll make a huge impression in this game. And a big shout out to their dad, Trevor Nicol, and all the work he does with young people in our sport. Crowd building here at Te Awamutu. Beautiful sunshine here. Local people and people from around the country joining us today.
Yes, I see Autumn Ray Stevens in there. I know she's just come off the back of the NRL rugby series in Australia and really performed well there. She's played a lot of rep stuff. She's played overseas in Japan, and yeah, really good athlete. Great to have her as part of our sport still.
So many of our athletes crossing over into rugby league, into sevens. Such a great breeding ground as our sport of touch, as our players pathway into those international programs. As Te Awamutu tap off. Nicol sends it over to a 32 ruck. Lewis on ball.
Yeah, it's going to be a sweet play here. He goes back the short side, Daniel.
We thought that Lewis would have a big impression on this game. Gets back to 33. Over to his brother Dan on the far side. It's a punish on that wing. Great defence from centre, from the middle there. Beautiful
Yeah, Lewis is one of our best quickie exponents in the country. Very clever, and he's got good vision and skill to back it as well.
Probably won't be long before we see him pathwaying into our men's game in time. Pete, what's your thoughts?
Oh, yes, he's certainly one of our best performers, and he showed it every year at Nationals. Just needs to go this next level now. So this series is going to be great for Lewis and his brother.
Strong performers for their Pearl Jam team. Constant performers. Been in our game since they were little nippers.
Speaking of Pearl Jam, there's 6 players from Te Awamutu in that Pearl Jam team. What kind of impact do you think that those connections will play in today's game?
Oh, huge. I see George the Burgess there. Look, they know each other so well. Hours and hours of playing with each other, so that's got to count for something.
Dummy half's picked here. Dummy half, called from the sideline. Great to see our young referees coming through in the sport, cutting their teeth in this big game.
Yeah, absolutely. Young Quinn Murphy there, still at high school, only 17 years old, so a really good opportunity for him to show his skill here.
So important to have great referees, to have great touch, and seeing young people like Quinn come through at only 17 years of age in the heat of this battle. Great for our sport. Well done, young man.
Ooh, some speed there.
One of the secrets of the mixed game, Pete, what are you looking for in mismatches?
Well, there's lots of mismatches, obviously, Shannon, but I mean, guy versus girl. At the end of the day, the boys are good. They tend to have a little bit more power than the girls in speed, so they'll try and get mismatches where a guy link is marking a girl link. That's certainly one of them. Fresh versus tight is the biggest, obviously, Shano, when you bring those fresh players on and you're attacking tight players.
What are we called here, Harley? Looks like it was a touchdown, but the referee's gone back to a penalty. What are you seeing?
Yeah, he played advantage. It looks like the player might have just got onside first, so we're going back for the first offside penalty.
Yeah, don't mind McLean Wano having a quickie dive in there. Another quickie again here. He's called the play through there.
Big play through call there, Harley. Beautiful loud call from the ref. What's he talking about when he's calling that play through?
Yeah, you've already started on the point. It's really important to have a big, prominent voice so that the players can hear what you have to say. In that situation, we've called the defending player still short off the line, and he's given the full advantage there to number 13, McLean Wanoa, to get the try.
Talk about this dummy half work here, Pete. What are you seeing from that dummy half?
Yeah, well, the dummy half's there on a quickie. You've got to step forward. Generally, the guy who's making the touch will step forward, so you need to be in front of him so it's not a forward pass.
What was he doing with his shoulders on that pass, Pete?
Yeah, you're turning side on, Shano.
As Te Tonga bring it down through the field. We're 1-0, Te Awamutu up. Oh, holds the ball up nicely.
That's that Bay connection there to Wakana Hodson and Sasu Wihapi scoring there. Obviously, all of these players, as you guys have mentioned earlier, are in pods. You can see that 3 Bay boys there. That's a pod that we should look out for, you think, Pete?
Oh, definitely, and it just makes sense to have them in pods because, once again, it's all that familiarity of playing with each other lots and lots of times.
Talk to me about getting back on the line and back up quickly, Pete. It looked like the Awamutu were a little bit caught on their line there.
Yeah, the drop and lift is crucial. You lift to make a touch, you drop to get onside, you lift again.
What a pass, left to right. What a response by Te Awamutu. Talk us through the Indomie replay here, Pete.
Okay, let's have a look at it, Chano. Okay, they run a play, they sweep. Throws off to the sweeper, and he throws a long ball. Once again, I feel that, the key to that is when the ball comes around, the ball's in his hands here, you all on that open side need to shift out and release to go to your man. It didn't quite happen in that case. It'll happen a lot in the mixed game. You'll see it happen a lot of times this weekend.
The winger's crucial to our game now. Pete, was there anything you thought a winger might have been able to do there to try and prevent that touchdown?
Oh, just the release. She needed to release earlier once, but it's what the cues are. The ball's in the middle on your side running at you. You've got to release out and say so.
3-3 platform here. Splits back to the open side.
Yeah, good defence.
And a quick play the ball, and Te Awamutu quickly drive it out of their line.
Yeah, great work by Ben Anderson there.
And off that intercept, of course, the first touch is a 0, so they'll have an extra touch as they move down the field.
7-touch play.
That's right, let's see what they can do here.
Here's Hanlon at a half. Throws off, and hard luck there.
Chance goes down there. Great effort by the winger to catch that pass. Great effort. Try gone big in there, and Te Tonga will look to get it off their line.
Harley, it's good to see some female referees here.
Oh, without a doubt. You'll notice that we've got a female in each of today's games, so an awesome opportunity for each of them. Something that we really encourage, of course, and we're fortunate. Probably about a third of the referees now at our national tournaments are female. So awesome to see.
So good.
Looking to lift our participation. We've got 120 registered players, 60% are male, 40% are female, so always keen to see women in our game. There's that combination from the Bay. Tuakana Hudson, wee happy again.
Ooh, that's an error. That's an error early in the count.
Lack of communication there, Pete. They'll be looking to fix that moving forward, get their comms going.
Yes, and it shows you how crucial the communication is in our sport.
Yeah. Players coming together just after a day together, so they'll be still finding that groove and getting to know each other.
I've noticed that the transitions are very, very quick. Once the ball gets dropped, the other team very quick to get down the field as quick as they can.
Yeah, it's good, clever play there by Sasu Wihapi, yep.
Looking for those quickie exponents, both of them. Tuakana Hudson come back to the middle, looking for his mate Wihapi. We've got a sweeper coming round. They throw, short back, nice crush, gets into the lane, back to one. Good lift there by Te Awamutu to cut that off.
Yeah, Jordan McEntee there in that occasion, just gives him another set.
Lungs burning now on the line, Pete. What kind of mental state do you have to have when you're defending here now?
Oh, yeah, well, you just have to stay on it. You have to rely on your fitness. You have to rely on your teammates. Okay, there's been a change here, so the new pod has come on for this set of attack.
Yeah, we got that fresh on tired, Pete, that you talked about.
Yes.
Talk us through this. Here comes the Indomie replay.
Yeah, they got a repeat set and a smart coaching move. It makes sense to get them off. The other team had been on there for a while. They brought on the fresh ones. They're working the same tied defenders. It's a big mismatch.
You can see the referee standing quite deep. It gives them a better view of the try line. You can see both of the defenders' feet were just short there, which gave Shiloh Flavel the best opportunity to score.
Touch player went to his open side before the ball had moved there. He might have wanted to pull straight to see which way the ball went before he took his line, Pete.
Okay, yes. Okay, we've got this Pearl Jam pod on now. Let's see what they look. They love the tight little plays, little sweeps, little quickies.
Getting into those dark spaces, a lot of communication just happening there. They've talked about this already now, and up to Lewis.
Asking a lot of questions in the middle there.
Yeah, they are. And they have a whole lot of options they can run. Yeah.
Ooh, did she get him? Did she get him? Yeah, she got him.
Great touch. They've run that play a couple of times now, Pete, where they throw over the top. They throw over the top of the follow runner.
Yes, and they hopefully the wing is wide, and he just runs off that chop line. It's normally Lewis to Daniel, his brother.
There goes Dan on ball. Beautiful timing of the pass. Yes. Did she get that down?
Yeah, that was Mia McCausland, and once again another Pearl Jam combination there. There's two of them. It looks like five of them. They're all from the same club team. So
good on his feet, Dan Nickel.
Yeah, that was a good show. And
beautiful timing. Yeah, looks at the player, pulls him up. Lady chops her line. Nice little pass. Touchdown.
Yeah. Tama onto Lewis, onto Mia.
Well done. Gets it down quick. And we're 3-2 to Taitonga over to Taiuru. High scoring game as you always expect in mixed clashes, Pete.
Yes. Okay, we're going to 32 platform here. The quickie's the short side.
What's she going to call? What's the winger going to call? Did she
we
get
got try time. We got try time.
That was a great dive. The ball was in front, and she got it down so quick, just before the touch was made.
Te Awamutu winger just caught a little bit in there and caught ball watching. Beautiful dive by the
Look at the release of this pass. Beautiful.
Yes, great way to get that down underneath the diving touch of Te Awamutu. And we're 4-2 to Taitonga. Te Awamutu bringing it through the field.
It's a good contest so far, lads.
Beautiful, beautiful working of the feet there. Asking questions of Te Awamutu, trying to pull that penalty for early rolling. Talk to me about an early roll, Harley.
Well, we want these players to be moving forward or at least moving towards the ball. We don't want them to be retreating back towards their try line when the ball's outside 7 metres.
And what you'll find with some teams is that it's actually one of their defensive tactics is when they're down in that area is to actually roll back, to let the attackers go out and run a static play as opposed to them running with speed at them.
What I'd like to see, though, even in today's women's game so far, I think we've only had one penalty for that so far, so it's a really good adjustment already from the teams.
Tuakana Hudson, big yards, big yards. What are we going to call here? Going to call a fifth and final touch. What would you look for on a fifth and final touch, Pete?
Well, a lot of teams will run a show. Just it's sometimes you haven't got enough time to run a late cut or a set play for static, so you'd normally just run a show.
Correct. Harley, what'd you see there? What was that? What the ref call there?
So it was a tough one. So as the player was looking to pass the ball, he called that the touch came first, and then the ball didn't quite come free. So they went with the fifth and final touch. Those are tricky ones. Sometimes there's a ball to ground, sometimes it's a recount.
Dan Nicol into half to his brother Lewis. Stops on a dime, twists back, late cut. Cross to Dan again, 3-2. Dan pulls out, resets.
Yeah, a lot of confidence here by Te Awamutu throwing that ball around.
That's going to tax the bodies.
Looks like we had a penalty for a touch and pass. So Te Hautonga now working towards his sub-box to get the fresh legs on.
The sweeping plays of the subs coming on. Pete, what are you looking for when you're coming onto a field? Where should you be coming on from?
Well, a lot of teams will run a latch. If you're going to make the fourth, if you're going up for the fourth touch, they run a latch back at that middle on their sub-box side just to keep the whole defensive line honest, and then they run a finishing play on the end.
Sweep
in this case,
here.
they're running a sweep.
Long ball left to right. Great touch by the Te Awamutu winger.
I'm really impressed with the girls, and generally in mixed high-level girls, their diving skills are so good. They're having to catch long balls that sometimes are 20 metres plus and get them down real quick, so it requires really good diving skills.
At that top level, Pete, the difference between two teams is usually the quality of your girls.
Yes, and because a lot of times you're marking powerful guys, so you have to dive.
Nice little block out there by Te Hautonga.
Yeah, Lewis stepped off the line there, so he's a couple of metres off the line to get him on a reach-back touch if needed.
Alex Howarth blocking out there.
32 Peel. Yeah, good defence there. Good defensive shape there.
Probably want a better pass if he had that opportunity again. It's called touch and pass on that, Harley.
Yeah, and the opportunity now for the two referees to come in, and it's a change. You can see that little swap there, just for that last referee who was in the middle to get a little bit of a break and share the workload.
Good footwork, stopping, going again, churning out extra metres. Every metre counts as they run down the field. Ladies coming in to do their work now into dummy half. And they'll pull out and reset. Looking for a good platform. Left to right long ball. Winger getting up, appealing that touch.
Ooh, that was a close one.
No, it looks like it was a try there by Tawera Ohia.
Great work by the Te Hautonga winger, doing really well to get off her line, to do everything she could. Holly Williams trying to shut that touchdown 50-50. Going with the attacking team. Oh, it's close. And great appeal by Holly, unlucky this time.
Yeah, she had great positioning there, but obviously the attacker got it down just before the touch was made.
And those are some of the really difficult calls that the referee has to make out there on the field.
Great discipline by Holly too. Took the call. May not have agreed with it, but didn't argue. Took it. Few passes going to ground now. Both coaches will be wanting some good ball control.
Yeah, I felt Te Hautonga's had the better of the yards, more consistent, more flowing, but Te Awamutu starting to pick up now. The last two sets have been good. Here they go again.
Lungs will be burning now, Pete, a lot of these players.
Oh,
slices through at 3 at the 21 ruck.
They like that one. A great try there by Tama Hawken.
Yeah, they did that sneaky down the sideline there. And once again, 70% of touchdowns you'll find happened on the two-girl side where the link girl is. And so lots of males in this game try to exploit that side.
Saw the ball dropped in the end goal there. What's the expectation of the attacking team once they score a touchdown, Harley?
Of course, in the act of scoring, we want them to make sure they maintain possession so they're not dropping it on the way down. And then after you've scored the try, best efforts to get it back to halfway as soon as we can to restart the game.
That's really good shape by Te Awamutu there on defence.
This is a tight one, boys, tied up at 4-all. An uncharacteristic error. And Te Awamutu will get the ball back. Our girls rucking that off the field, driving us forward.
Referee calls play on there, but it looks like there was not too much space there after that touch was made. One of those things that the referees will probably look at halftime.
Another pass there, coming through the middle of the field. Beautiful running, slices through. What's the ref going to call here, Harley?
Oh, it looks like, I thought it was just going to be 6 touch, but I think we've got a touch and pass. So we'll go back for the tap. Give everyone a quick break before we carry on with this very quick game.
Such a tough call, those touch and passes. They happen in an instant. Wanting a dummy half there, Te Tonga. Holly moving us forward. Ref's called forward off that ruck. Harley, do you think?
That was a tough call. It's really, really difficult in those situations as the teams are driving towards their sub-box for the referee to be in a good position to make those calls. So Tanisha must have been right on the spot.
And our players coming onto the ball just want to keep their discipline and make sure they're behind the ball.
You see that last pod for Te Awamutu, they're a hard-working speed pod, and you bring on this pod that can run really good static plays. It's good to have different different points of attack and different styles of attack.
Tanisha there calling a penalty. You'd like to see a play on sometimes in those situations, Harley?
Yeah, so this is the second penalty we've had for this offence. Earlier on, we actually saw Mitchell play advantage first, so something that, again, they might chat about at half-time. We want that advantage, and then if we need to, we can come back for the penalty.
Yeah, certainly from players and coaches, you want to keep the advantage going as long as you can and then pull it back for the penalty later.
Oh, great play.
Brother to brother. Out to Dan Nicol, inside to his brother Lewis. They've spent 20 years in the backyard arguing who's the prominent middle, and they've sorted it out today.
They're full of tries, these guys. It's a pod that we have to keep an eye on for the whole weekend, I think.
Yeah, and they know they run these eyes-up plays depending on who makes the touch, what option of plays they're going to run. They're very good at it.
Yeah, very clever, these young men.
Yeah,
silky skills from Dan.
They almost run what I call a triangle attack, and they're very clever, so well done.
Nice two out there. Jordan passes back. They're going 3 down that short side. Beautiful high lift. Hotonga said again.
It's good to see tries are coming from so many different styles of play. So we've got sweep plays, and we can see what's going to happen here. Oh, it looks like we've got a penalty now for the offside.
Yeah, played that advantage to the full end there, Harley. Great example of playing the advantage to see if they could score, and if they can't, then bringing it back. That's what we want to see from our referees. Great work, young man. Some really fit people here, getting on that 7 and getting backwards 7 metres and still online. Second penalty in a row there, Harley.
Yeah, so the Te Awamutu team will be really wanting to make sure they're compliant, so they don't want to have anyone standing on the sideline in this current set.
Jordan drives it in, back to Jordan.
Great defence.
Great line D.
Good defence, Ben Anderson. Got back on the line, lifted off the line to make that touch.
Nice and tight.
Sweet play.
Yeah, listen to that sub-box support. Another 8 players in the sub-box helping out on D with their voices, lifting their team with encouragement. Wow. Ball right to left. Ref's happy with that. Great cradle catch by Holly Williams on this left side wing. Talk to me about a cradle catch, Pete.
Yeah, a cradle catch is when you turn your whole body into the ball, so the ball is shielded by your chest, and you've got your whole shoulders and arms there to take it in cleanly. She turns in.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Cradle catch all day. That's a touchdown. Well done. Great work by Te Tonga, and we're locked up at 5-all. It's a nail biter. 30 seconds to go in this half. What are you going to do at 5-all, Pete, with 30 seconds to go?
Well, they're certainly going now to get a try. Both teams will want to try. The other team may get a shot here as well if they finish the set, defend the set out. Probably not now with this slowing down.
Try and get the Nicol brothers on.
No, this team's out here to run it. They've only got run out of time now, so they're going to run this flow. Oh, tried a little quick.
8 seconds, Pete. 8 seconds. What would you do with 8 seconds to go on the clock?
Well, I'd drive one more and scoop off this next one.
Scoop now?
Yeah, and run through these 2 girls here. Oh, they're back on side.
Someone's got to tell here. Hooter's going to go. Yeah, you probably wanted a 3-3 drive, get a nice scooper in there and let them crack down the middle and see what we can play. That's half-time in an exciting game. 5-all, Te Awamutu and Te Tonga. Let's go to our sponsors again. Much gratitude and love goes out to Bunnings, Essex, Bartercard, Indomie, Silver, Fern and Sass, who are the event sponsors today. Big love out to our tournament support team. Mr. Guy Barton helping on the sidelines. Ricky Anosa helping on the sidelines. All these men and people behind the scenes. Our lovely ladies in the background looking after all our player welfare.
And Shanna, you actually live in this town, Te Awamutu. How's this weather?
It's kind of what we used to, Pete, in this beautiful part of the country. We haven't seen rain in 40 years, but we've got some people from around the country, and it's great to have them here. Beautiful, boiling day here. Great day for touch, and great to have sport back on our screens.
Yeah, I love this contest. 5-all. It's just been swinging side to side. It's going to be interesting, some of the feedback from the coaches. I see here in Te Hautonga, Mark Hodgson just had something to say. Now he's handed over to Damien Burden, the coach. Just talking about tactics. You see these coaches there throwing their arms out left and right, Shano, and pretty intense in their delivery. It's good to see.
Yeah, they're really committed and into this, giving a lot of their time, like a lot of people across our country. We've got a lot of sweat equity in the game, people donating their time, their energy with our young people.
Speaking of that, of course, we've just had the Bunnings homegrown heroes, I should say. Pete, you had a little bit to do with that, going around the country and rewarding some of our most loyal and awesome volunteers right across the country.
Yeah, that was so good. We had guys like Naza Silbury, legend of the sport. We had Jenny and Tika, who run a module in Tauranga. And we also had other one from Luke Chapman, obviously from Auckland, and the club he's involved with in Auckland there. So some really good people involved in the sport. He's done many, many years as volunteers and just giving back to our sport. It's such a great initiative between Bunnings and Touch New Zealand. $25,000 they gave away to those 5 recipients. So well done. We really appreciate it of Indomie and also Bunnings.
Right behind our communities, all of our event sponsors giving back to the game, acknowledging those people that Pete just mentioned, huge contributors to our sport, like so many other people across this country, just giving to our communities. Pete, halftime speeches, what are they about for you?
Well, they'd be talking to their pods, they'd be talking about the error rate. There weren't many, to be fair, but wanting to really maximise the benefit of their pods, especially on attack. Like we talked about, there were one pod that was good on the static plays, there's another pod good on the speed plays, and there's a third pod that can sort of do a bit of both. So it's interesting, the tactics that'll come into play.
Our sport coming back after the COVID isolations as we get ready to kick off the second half. 120,000 registered players, 200 competitions, 19 provinces, 50,000 children across our country playing this sport. We're back, people.
Looking forward to seeing how the second half goes. Of course, we were operating under the FIT 5th edition rules. The game's 20-minute halves, 3-minute half-time, which we've just had. Just a reminder as well, if the game ends in a draw, we won't be going into a drop-off for the first 2 games. But if it does go into a tie tomorrow's game, then we will look to go into a drop-off.
Beautiful pass here, straight from the start. Te Hautonga, ref Tanisha's having a look at it. Talk me through the Indomie replay here, Pete. What did you see?
Well, let's have a look at it, Shannon. I missed this first, but so I'll be interested in this replay. They obviously, they've gone the 2 girls side, and look how much room he's got there. I would have pushed. If I was the guy next to the girl, you're very important in your communication to them. With all that space, I would have pushed her out to hold her corner and come over hard to help out.
That's that right middle boy's got to do double work over there, look after his girl on his right side. Pete, they run 2 girls on the right-hand side. Well, explain the reason for that, please.
Well, it depends what you as a coach, what your game plan is, because you always have a, if they have a long ball that throws left to right, then you may want it that side. It depends. Wow, that was a great long ball. Did Tama throw that?
Left to right, beautiful hands by our winger, great commitment and dive.
Yeah, Jade McDowell, she's a good performer from Auckland, Jade McDowell.
3-3, Hudson on the touch. Well done, Jordan. He knew his sport, he knew his count, numeracy and literacy at Rotorua boys, paying off big time there. Knew it was the last touch.
It's a pity the attackers didn't know that.
Yeah, really important role, obviously, first and foremost for the referees, but for the players as well. They need to know what the touch count is.
So many of these players coming out of strong secondary schools like Jordan there, coming out of Okura, Rotorua boys. The secondary school competition, one of the biggest in our country.
Looks like we had a bobble of the ball just as they went to play it there. Really important to maintain position as you're going to do that.
What's going to cause that bobble, Pete?
Oh, it could be a sort of hard touch. It could be a loose carry.
What do you coach your players to avoid getting done like that, Pete?
Well, generally, if you're making a touch and it's on a drive, you almost put the ball down and make the touch at the same time. So you've got to lower your body and be prepared to make the touch on them, not wait for them to touch you.
Short side scoop there, went through a couple of hands. Harley, what's the rules around there when it goes from player to player like that?
First
Back
of all,
to one, handover.
Yeah, really tricky situation. Both referees, I think, in good position to make the right call there. So the ball had come forward from the green defender there and then was actually played out again by blue. But the first defence counts, so that's why we've got to recount back to blue.
Nice left to right, long ball. Winger getting right off that line, Pete, shutting that down.
Yeah, I think Jade McDowell went off injured. She'd done her shoulder, so this the new girl tapping the ball now, she's just come on. I haven't seen a number to see who she is.
3-3 play again, coming to a 32 now, bringing a sweep around on the 32. Oh, draws the winger in. What type of defence do you want on that play, Pete? What do you want to see? It was nearly a touchdown there.
It came to the short side. I would have kept the wing out and everyone pushed over to the short side.
Who's responsible for telling our winger to stay out there, Pete?
Well, everyone on that side, basically the middle and the link.
Beautiful drives here, running that extra taxi or two-out play, getting some extra yards. Snaky runs here by the girls. 3-3 split comes back the open side.
Yeah.
Takes him to the short side, steps back to the open, draws in the other middle.
Shiloh Flavel there with a cheeky grin and a thanks to the referee after this try. Let's have a look at it.
Yeah, they ran a W and he just stepped back. The open side middle came over, but the Lincoln winger didn't seem to move. They have to come over.
Soon as he picked up, started coming to his right side. That far side from Te Awamutu needed to jam in there, Pete, and cut down space.
Yeah, this play works a lot because the defending girls, sometimes the girls think I need to hold my outside and the outside, but in that situation, they actually needed to come in and hit.
Shift towards the ball, Pete.
Yes.
The threat's the ball. Shift towards the ball.
Okay, quickie play here. That's Lewis.
Dan.
What have we got here? We've got a touch or a try? Oh, we've got a touch.
Oh.
Dan Nicol asking the questions. They're so dynamic on the ground.
Yeah, touch and pass there. Looked like a touch and pass.
Nicol getting up quick. He's looking out on his left side, asking for the other player.
Great touch by Artify there. She's really playing well as a captain. Really good captain's not this game.
Great yards from the ladies. Dan heard the offside call. She kept on going, taking those extra metres, getting her team down. Two boys come in. Jordan here.
Yeah, be a 32 pick for
platform.
Jordan. He throws the long ball.
He had that chance again. He's probably looking to catch that. Good pass.
Same as last time.
Te Awamutu will be looking for some extra. That's a bit of energy there coming from Lewis.
You're certainly going to get...
Ladies bringing it on with power, Pete.
Yeah, that was Daniel. You'll certainly get a lot of speed and power from Daniel. He's the opposite to Lewis's brothers. One's slow and tactical, the other one's fast and busy.
Both threats together, a bit of cleverness in both of them.
We can see a really open, free-flowing game, and I think that's got a lot to do with the referee's early communication to the players. And it's really, we've got end-to-end spectacular touch going on here. It's awesome to watch.
Quite tricky when you've got those two Nicol brothers on, Pete. They both have different tempo when they play.
Yeah, but certainly able to work with each other, Shane. They complement each other for sure.
Te Awamutu asking some big questions, but Te Hautonga are answering now. Te Hautonga up 7-5. Te Awamutu will be looking to score. Oh, holds the ball up beautifully.
Tatiana Fisher there with the try for Te Awamutu. Let's have another look at the Indomie replay.
Gets that left middle. Sweeper coming round. Asks questions, draws in the link. Lady pops out into her hole, walks over. Tatiana Fisher. Her mother, Marianne Fisher, past New Zealand touch black. And her dad, the late Lawrence Fisher, another great player for our country.
Yeah, Shannon, we've gone past it now, but I feel that the defence there from Green needed to be smarter there.
Oh, quick response from Te Hautonga. Pete, take us through.
Okay, let's have a look at this. I'm just going to see what the platform was as we go back to the replay. Okay, they run a sweep play here. They change it to a girl. He picks up and he throws to the link. Yes, the winger needed to be in to hit that. In that occasion, she didn't hit. It was an open side hit.
They pull the defence over to that left side, expose this right side, Pete, and they just need that winger up there to slam that link, eh?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so it's a standard play that Te Awamutu have been running a couple of times. Coaches will pick that up at the halftime speech.
Yeah, he needs to talk to those individuals about it, or that pod. So Te Awamutu here, they've got the brothers on here, the Nickel brothers here. You'll see them all starting in pretty close together. Yeah, runs a quickie.
Te Awamutu on the attack. Here's that one again.
There it is.
They've been running it quite a bit now. They don't give it to the close follow. They throw it out to a second follow player, hoping that that Lincoln winger hasn't got up.
Yeah, and it was a set play. You can see by their positioning. Tama had started really wide. The other ones were far apart. So we opened up that space between the guy and the girl link.
As a coach, you'd be seeing this play being done a couple of times. You'd be coaching your team every time these boys are on. Make sure we get that other player up to stop that second follow player.
Yeah, look, there wouldn't be many smart operators than Lewis Nickel, and obviously in unison with his teammates. It's hard because you've got three to contend with, not just with one.
And Te Awamutu still lead 8-7 in the 2022 Bunnings Homegrown Touch Series. Game's tied here. Left to right, long ball, out to Hollow.
Yeah, good defence.
Great touch in the corner, great effort, both ladies. We'll dispute around what the touch count was, Harley.
Yeah, it does seem like there was a mistake here with the touch count. I think that the referees are just going to address it. Or I think we might be going back to restart the roll ball again from the right mark. But really important, as we mentioned in the first half, we want to make sure that the touch count is correct for the referees and, of course, for the players too. So looks like we're going to restart the game from here.
Great control by our referees. Players asking for the mark. Takes it back to the 7. We'll start with a roll ball.
To the middle, sweep around the link, take to the two girls, and then they start driving here.
From that far side, Pete, a lot of sideways movement there. If you're coming from the far side ruck, what would you be looking for to get it off and get us some yards forward?
Well, firstly, not error. They've obviously got set plays that they're running with. And we just see here the dummy half tried to scoop in and quickly catch the defender, but he got there a bit late.
Referee's called a ball to ground here. I think when the dummy half came in to pick up the ball, there might have been a little bobble on the pickup. So we've got a turnover now, Te Awamutu hitting back.
If you've got a dummy half within range of the ball, do you have to pick it up, Harley?
Great question. We might have to consult some more learned people than me. In my opinion, yes, I think you should.
Peter Walters?
Yes, I agree. I don't think there's meant to be a delay with picking up the ball.
And when can the defence leave if there's no dummy half there, Harley?
Straight away. They can leave straight away. Oh, looks like we've got a late touch call, but Te Awamutu are defending their lead pretty well. Great option there from Te Awamutu still.
Mark Hodson, seasoned New Zealand international, coming into his own now deep in the second half. He knows when to time his run. 8-7, Te Awamutu over to Awamutu. Penalty goes to Te Awamutu. They'll be looking to take this down the middle of the field.
Yeah, and they've got their main attacking pod on now. So we are looking to score a try again in this set.
What do you see in the defensive shape of Te Awamutu, Pete?
Oh, there's a skill error there. Yeah, no, they were just setting up one of a whole lot of options that they can run down there.
Middle's making the touch on their line, Pete. What defensive shape do you want on their retreat lines?
Well, it could be straight or you project to your short side. It depends on what play they're running, really, on if a sweeper comes or they're on a quickie play.
Middle touch here. Run a long chase. That's that dangerous one, Pete, that 3-3 scoop. What are you looking for on a 3-3 middle scoop, Pete? Well, that was a long mirror.
Well, they run back at the open side, and if the toucher pulls his corner, then and you're quick, you can get away from him, like happened in that instant.
What would you want in defence instead, Pete?
Well, if that's depending on what the policies are, you can do that, but normally between 3 and 3 they would shut.
Yeah, just tread a little bit, make them come into that, tease them into the hole, and then shut.
You've got 3 on that open side, so normally that is the standard policy.
Honestly, rather than getting in that long chase. That would work there, Harley. Player caught in the ruck, you think?
Player caught in the ruck, and you would have noticed that the referee actually advanced the penalty forward 10 metres, which is a new addition underneath the 5th edition rules. Good pick up there from referee Quinn Murphy. Just a little loose play of the ball on the ground there.
Crucial to get those core skills right.
Yeah, for players and even for referees, we want to be in a good position to make sure we can call those ones.
Harley, talk to me about the fitness testing the referees do, it's not only the players.
Yeah, really important. We want to hold ourselves to a high standard so that we can maintain a free-flowing game just like this.
Yeah, some good play going on here by Green here, Te Awamutu. Oh, he's
after the touch.
Just lost the ball there, yeah. That's a loose carry.
So he hadn't made the touch on that call.
Yeah, the player with the ball has the responsibility to play the ball correctly too, so it just came forward from his hands. It's a turnover there too.
Temperature getting into the early 20s now, Pete. It'll be hot out there.
Yeah, it is starting to heat up. And certainly the action's heating up as well, Shano. It's 8-7. There's just under 7 minutes to go.
Good boy, Jordy. Good boy.
Beautiful body work there, pulling the defender one side, teasing him over, then turning back and coming the other side, looking for a lazy defender who may have switched off, Pete.
Yeah, Hanlon Johnson, he's a smart operator here. They run a 32 peel and throw over the top. Short long. Looks like a try to me.
The winger got caught with shoulders in there, Pete. Hard to turn and chase.
It's a hard one, this one, because when they execute it well, so the primary runner's coming in now. He throws early and the defence is sort of holding. And so if you get the pass away, then there's a good chance they're going to score because the winger's in far.
Anything you can do to cut that off, Pete?
Well, there is, but there's a couple of things you can do, but they didn't do it in that instance, Shannon.
As Te Awamutu bring it down through the field. We're at 9-7, 5:55 on the clock. 32 punish there. Looks for the dive. A lot of talk on the line going on. Nice pass off the ground.
Here's Mark Hodson going into half.
Nice little show.
Looked like a touch and pass.
Touch and pass. Te Awamutu will bring it down the field.
Yeah, Te Awamutu, they won't want any errors here.
Just get it down the other end with this lead.
Yeah, they can't afford any errors if they want to keep their lead.
Fitness paying off as the ladies drive it through. Great work, ladies. Dummy half in, keeping the flow going. Fresh, running at a defence that's running backwards and tired.
Oh, yes.
Oh, great work, Tanisha. Right in there to call that. Mark Hodson, experienced defending that out.
Some tired legs out there on the field. Let's see who can carry on with what's needed for their team to come through for this game.
Yeah, Te Awamutu have to finish this set strong. They really need to get a good drive on here and get some speed on.
This is where you grind your teeth, Pete, and go forward.
Yeah,
we've got a scoop. He's John Lucky just caught on the 7. Turned the defence around, got a tired defender.
Yeah, Rongomai McLean-Wanu was a great reach-back touch there. He done well to stop that scooper.
We'll be wanting, here comes a flyer, and a beautiful 2 out. Gets an extra 6 metres. Ground might be a bit dewy there for some of the players. Starting to dry out well.
You can hear the feedback from Damien Burden giving his team a lot of constructive feedback in the box. It's good coaching.
We spoke about this in the first women's game, but this penalty here is actually because Te Awamutu were incorrectly subbing at 7 players on the field, so something that the referees are going to keep looking for.
Yes, and I imagine late in each half when you're tired that it's easier to sort of want to get on a little bit early and shirk, and not, the ones are going off a little bit slower, the ones want to come on a little bit earlier, so there'd be that chance where referees will pull penalties will give penalties because too many on.
Fabulous scramble defence from Te Awamutu there, cutting off a try-scoring opportunity. 3.5 minutes to go, anyone's game. Defence is high. Lovely pass, stepping back, defence nice and tight. Oh! Great scramble defence by Te Awamutu in this homegrown series, brought to you by Bunnings. Te Awamutu just wanting to control it, get it down to the other 7 metre line. If they turn over, make Te Awamutu take it all the way down the other field.
Yeah, they've been running a latch on the 4th touch where they bring that subside middle towards the link and they take it back to the middle for a finish.
Passive play, girl on the girl. draws the winger. Smart play by those Nickel boys and the boys from Pearl Jam. Got a passive play on the two girls side. Dan holds up the link, passes to the winger.
Yeah, that was Lewis there. So Lewis gets the ball here. And look at this. Controls the tempo. The timing of the pass is beautiful.
Well done. Great commitment to get that ball down.
The defensive winger, she did really well. She held her space. She didn't shut too early. It's just that the timing of the pass was better.
So often our lady wingers getting caught with 2-on-1 in the mixed game, Pete.
Yes, that's right, and it's a hard one because when speed's coming at you and you're starting off static, to get the timing of your shutdown or your chase out.
A little bit of enjoyment from both teams out there in some hot conditions. Great to see it between the referees and the players.
Honestly, one of my favourite things to see is just the player and a referee having a laugh or enjoying themselves on the field, because that's what we come to do as well. We want to enjoy ourselves and help create an enjoyable experience for all.
Absolutely. Well said, Harley. Nice quickie, driving forward, like you said, Pete, getting forward off that ruck.
Yeah, and that was a great strike by Mia there. She's very good on the blind strikes.
That's our emergency hooter, boys. It's not the end of the game. Minute and a half to go. Hotonga won't want to waste too much time. On a 33 Peel, comes back the open side. Nice little circle there, Pete. Runs with a nice little late cut, what we used to call a circle.
Yes.
Talk me through this.
Yeah, it is. The dumper splits and he stands. So I think it's Andy here, Andy Bergman, and he splits and he stands. And it's a little late there once he's seen the defender latch on to mark with the ball. So
as soon as that ball went to the left-hand side, Pete, what would you have wanted from your defence?
Well, you'd want them to lift. You want them to lift and hit.
50 seconds to go. Te Awamutu still up.
Yeah, Lewis will try and cookie the link. He's gone back I think Lewis has come into this part for attack. They wanted him on to score another try, so they changed the pod to get him on there. So there he is.
Come on, let's strong transition and exit. Let's go, hold her off.
As Te Awamutu bring it down the field, 15 seconds to go. See if they can end with a flurry. Try and score one to get the last touchdown. Whoever scores the last touchdown wins. And that'll be the hooter. Going to play the penalty here. So what happens here, ladies and gentlemen, if it's a penalty on the last play, you've still got to play that penalty out. Ball comes back to the centre. Te Awamutu won't want another touchdown in at this stage. They'll want to defend it out, keep their line intact, let nothing in. It's an all or nothing play. Fakes, long ball left to right. Hard luck and a great game of touch by both teams in some really warm conditions here. Both teams congratulate each other and they're going to go at it again in this afternoon's game. They'll go away and regroup. So a win to Te Awamutu, 10-8 over Te Awamutu. Brought to you here at the 2022 Bunnings Homegrown Touch Series, live from Te Awamutu. We're going to throw to a break now.
We're going up to see Jenny and surprise her with her $5,000 prize. Let's go. Jenny, congratulations. You're a Bunnings Homegrown hero.
I'm pretty overwhelmed, I guess, still. Pretty honoured and humbled to be a Bunnings Homegrown hero. We're trying to create a bit of a legacy for our touch whānau and just see all the people out there having so much fun and enjoying the sport we love. That makes all the work that we put in really worth it.
Great game, that second game from the Homegrown Series, Pete. The mixed game with a win to Te Awamutu 10-8. As we thought, Lewis and his brother Dan having a good game there. Some beautiful defence from our lady wingers. Any thoughts on that game, Pete?
Yes, I agree with you. The familiarity and the team workmanship of the Pearl Jam players from the same club, and Lewis drove that pod with Daniel and Tomahawk, and they constructed most of the touchdowns in their pod. And went really well. The girls that really performed was Mia McCausland, the Fisher girls. I mean, mate, there were some really good performers out there.
Great. We're going to cut now to Harley, who's got some interviews to do on the field. Over to you, Harley Wall.
Fueled by Indomie. Kia ora te whānau, we're here now with the captain of Te Awamutu mixed team, Atawhai Hōtini. Congratulations on today's win. What do you think was the key to today's success?
I think it was our connections yesterday. We started getting connected quite early, which helped, and our pods had played together before, so we had that sense of familiarity with each other. So I think that really helps, but still lots to work on for the next 2 games.
Next 2 games, we're looking to this afternoon's game. Defensively, what are some things that you guys will look to do?
I think it's just a comms thing. Like, we were a little bit disjointed sometimes, and so if we comms that early, it'll just come naturally. It should be quite good.
A little bit warmer than Dunedin. How are you coping with the heat up here in Te Awamutu?
Yeah, it's good to see some sunshine finally, to be honest. But no, it's good. Honestly, wouldn't prefer anything else but some sunshine, so it's nice.
Awesome. Any last messages you want to send to everyone back home?
No, kia ora whānau, friends. Nice to see you all, and yeah, thank you.
Awesome. We're looking forward to the next game. Thank you for your time.
Kia ora te iwi. Okay, well, that was our exciting mixed game. We've had 2 great games so far, and we've got the Open Men's coming up in roughly 13 minutes time. So enjoy your lunch, enjoy the sunshine here in Te Awamutu as we close up for the break and get ready for our men's game.